Welcome to chapter 22 of the book of 1 Samuel. David gathers a band of outcasts. So David has now fled from Saul's attack against him, went to the priest, got Goliath's sword, fed his men, and now it continues, and it says, and David went forth from there and came through safe from the area where Abiathar the priest was. And he comes to the cave of Odulam. Speleon is a Greek word. We have spelunkers, the people that are that go inside caves and I don't know what you call it, searching or climbing down inside the caves. It's a hobby. I can't imagine that. It would scare me to death. And his brothers hear acoustics from that, and all the house of his patros, father. And they went down to him there. So they were afraid of their lives against Saul. So they flee and go to this place, and apparently is towards Moab, to the east of the Dead Sea, to the south of it, southeast. And they gathered and that's Edom. Moab is further north, almost next to the Dead Sea. And gathered together with him everyone in necessity, and every debtor, and all in severe pain of the soul. So people that had some type of a problem, didn't have enough money, a necessity of maybe fleeing for their lives, breaking up in a marriage or something, and people that owed money to get away, and all in severe pain of the soul. Debtors fleeing the person that's coming after their money. Back in the 1960s, I was a psychiatric technician, state of California, Fairview State Hospital, Costa Mesa. And at that time, if you owed money and you went to the mental hospital, as long as you're in the mental hospital, the debtors couldn't come after you. So some people did admit themselves, so they could do that at the time. I don't think you can, and I don't know, this is 1963, a long time ago. But these people, and then the severe pain of their soul, maybe lost a loved one, bankrupt, whatever. So he was over them taking the lead, sort of like a Robin Hood type of a person that was in England. Had all these people that are sort of like what we just mentioned. And there were with him about 400 men. Well, that's quite a few. Andres. And David went forth from there unto Masifah of Moab, which is to the east of the Dead Sea. And he said to the king of Moab, well, let indeed my father and my mother, my patir and my mitir, be by you until whenever I know what God shall do to me. And he appealed to the person of the king of Moab. And they dwelt with him, that is the family, all the days of David being in the citadel. Now, I don't know where the citadel was. Maybe we'll have more information later about where this place was. And Gad, the prophet, said to David, so apparently he had a prophet with him, do not settle in the citadel. Go, and you shall come into the land of Judah. So, and David went and came and settled in the city Harith. Now, whether the family did or not, it's unclear. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. And Saul heard that David was known, and the men with him. And Saul stayed on the hill by the plowed field in Ramah, which is fairly close to Jerusalem, where he was. And the spear was in his hand, and all his servants stood beside him. So he's standing there as a warrior-type king, and all these people that are following Saul. And Saul said to his servant standing beside him, "Hear indeed, O sons of Benjamin, shall truly the son of Jesse give to you all fields and vineyards?" Like he was giving them. "And will he arrange you all as commanders of hundreds and commanders of thousands?" He only had 400 people. "For you are all situated together against me, and there is not one uncovering my ear, in that my son ordains a covenant with the son of Jesse. And there is not one toiling for me from out of you and uncovering my ear, that my son roused up my bondman against me for an enemy, as in this day." So he's becoming basically paranoid, coming against his friends, the people that are backing him, and accusing them of allowing Jonathan to give power to David, blaming it on his son, not God. And Doeg, the Idumeos, the Edomite, who was from south of Moab, answered, the one placed over the mules of Saul. And he said, "Well, I saw the son of Jesse coming into Nobah to Abimelech, the son of Ahitub the priest. And he asked him, David asked Abiathar concerning God. And he, Abiathar, gave to him, David, provisions. And the broadsword of Goliath, the Philistine, he gave to him. And the king sent to call Ahimelech, son of Ahitub, the priest, and all the sons of his father, of the priests in Nob. And they all came to the king, the Vasileia. And Saul said, Hear indeed, O sons of Ahitub. And he said, that would be Ahimelech, Behold, it is I. Speak, O master. And Saul said to him, Why did you agree against me, you and the son of Jesse, for you to give him bread and a broadsword, and should ask on his account of God, to put him against me for an enemy, as he is this day? And Ahimelech answered to the king and said, Well, and who among all your bondmen is trustworthy as David, and son-in-law of the king, and one in charge of all your mobilization order, and honorable in your house? Or today have I begun to ask for him through God? By no means. Let not the king impute concerning the word of his bondman me, the Ahimelech, and against the entire house of my father. For your bondman, Ahimelech, myself, knew not in any of these things, a matter small or great. He didn't know what was going on. He's pleading innocent, which he was. And King Saul said, To death Ahimelech should die, you and all the house of your father. And the king said to the bodyguard standing by him, Lead forward and put to death the priests of Kiriu, of the Lord. For their hand is with David, for they knew that he fled, and they did not uncover my ear. And the servants of the king wanted not to bear their hands to encounter against the priests of the Lord. So they didn't. They had respect for the priesthood, but not Saul. And the king said to Doeg, You turn and encounter the priests. And Doeg the Edomite turned and put to death the priests of the Lord in that day, 85 men, all bearing an ephod. So much for Saul. Saul was chosen by God. The sons of Israel were chosen by God and walked away. Judas was chosen by Jesus, and he denied. So people that say that this once saved, always saved type thing, well, now, you can walk away from God at any time. A person has got the free will to do that, and people have walked away from God. And there's warnings about it. If there wasn't warnings about it, then it wouldn't be possible. But because there are warnings, it is possible. Now, I'm not saying you can lose your salvation, as I've mentioned many times before. It can't flip out of your back pocket or your purse and lose it. No. In Nabah, the city of the priests, he struck with the mouth of the broadsword, from man unto woman. So not only kills the 85 priests, he goes to the city and he kills all the people, from infant unto one nursing. From calf and donkey and sheep, he struck by the mouth of the broadsword. He wouldn't do that with the people that he was supposed to kill them all, that God said, and Samuel came and found out that he didn't kill them all, but yet here he does it on his own. And one son of Ahimelech came through safe. And the name to him was Abiathar. We'll hear more about him. And he fled after David. And Abiathar reported to David that Saul put to death all the priests of the Lord. And David said to Abiathar, well, I knew in that day that Doeg the Edomite, that in reporting he would report to Saul, I'm the one at fault for the lives of all the house of your father. You sit down with me. Don't fear, for wherever I seek for my life, I shall seek also a place for you, your life, for you are guarded by me. So now it gets worse as Saul continues to search after David. We'll find out what happens afterwards here in chapter 23. Again, I hope you'll join us. Till then, God bless.